Hey guys, it's Bridget with San Diego Seed Company, and this video is going to be about why you should be growing Ranunculus. It's a weird name, and some of you maybe have never even heard of the flower, but once you see what they look like, oh, you're going to know, and you're going to love them because they're so beautiful, and they're wicked easy to grow. They really don't require a whole lot. So I want to show you guys our little Ranunculus party we have going on over here. So these are beautiful flowers, and a lot of times they're used as cut flowers. They're really gorgeous. Actually, their leaves look a lot like celery. Isn't that cute? I had a little kid say, it looks like celery, and it does. They're very easy to grow, and the way in which you grow them is from actual ranunculus bulbs, or sometimes they're called corms, and they're these kind of weird little alien things that get stuck in the ground. We plant them here in zone 9 and 10 in the fall, so you can plant them October, November, December, even going into January. The earlier you plant them in the fall, the sooner you will get spring, early spring, or even late winter blooms. These guys just started blooming about a week ago, and you can see they're really popping. We have tons of different colors. There's different shapes and sizes. They're really just so gorgeous. Oh, look at the ladybug. Look. Hi, ladybug. Ladybugs obviously like them. And
you're an insane person. Hi, ladybug.
Ever since I had a baby, now I just have to stop and baby talk to every insect I see. They're really easy to grow, and what I love about them is, let's say you don't have a lot of space. You could easily do this on a patio. You can see all of mine are in pots. And interestingly enough, these are the pots that last year grew our dahlias. So these pots have kind of been designated as my tuber pots or my bulb pots because I can plant them with something that I know at the end of the year I'm going to take back out and then put something else in. So I will actually, when these are done blooming, probably about midsummer, I'll actually pull out the tiny little alien globby things that are the ranunculus and save them. They store very easily, and then plant them out next year. The water requirements on these guys are not a whole lot. As long as you're keeping your pot fairly moist, they're going to be happy. This is actually west facing, so this is some pretty strong, warm temperatures that these guys are getting, and they're still totally happy. Now, I do want to mention it's early spring. If I was doing this maybe late summer, it would be too hot for them. But right now, in January, February, March, even going into April, these guys will be perfectly happy. They are in a full sun location, and they're blooming beautifully. You can see I've got tons of more little bulbs that are opening. I've got even more down here. I mean, look at this. If that's not worth giving it a try, I don't know what is. It's absolutely stunning, the different shades and colors. And I stuck them in. I obviously have some good soil in these pots. That does make a big difference. Give them a good watering, keep your eyes on them, and that's about all they require. One of the things that I do really love about these, if you are a new gardener, is they very easily tell you when they are thirsty. These beautiful little bloom heads will start to droop, and that's a telltale sign that the pot doesn't have enough water, and you can water them a little bit more. They will perk right back up, and then you have these gorgeous blooms. I can come out in the morning and I can cut these when they're actually not quite fully open. Like that's a good open stage. It will continue to open in the vase and bring beautiful color inside my house. Okay, so my videographer totally called me out and he's like, quit yabbering on about how easy these are and actually say how to do it. So this is how you plant ranunculus. In zone 9 and 10, they are a fall or a cool season sown crop. Typically you plant them by corms or bulbs, however you want to describe them. And I just dug one up to kind of show you guys here. They are these little mass of roots that you can get, and they very simply can be soaked just a little bit. You don't have to go crazy. In zone 9 and 10, you do not have to pre-sprout them. So we put them in a bucket of water just to hydrate them right after we get them from wherever you want to buy them. Little spoiler alert, we're gonna have these next year. Very excited about that. So once you get them, stick them in a bucket for less than 12 hours, more than 1 hour, depending on how long your lunch break is. And then you'll pull them out and you'll plant them into soil. You definitely want to have, if you're doing it in a pot, soil that holds plenty of moisture. These are a cool season sown crop, so they do enjoy cooler temperatures and ample moisture during the growing season. So I would water these pots. We actually got a lot of rain this year, so I didn't have to water them as much, but during dry spells, I would water them every couple of days and just make sure that there's ample water in this pot. One of the ways in which you can tell anytime you're growing in a container is you can give it a little lift and kind of feel. How heavy does it feel? Does it feel dry? Then I would water it, and then you just wait. These beautiful little celery-like leaves will start to pop up. And from the time that they start to pop up until the time they bloom is relatively quick. About 4 weeks from the time that they pop up to bloom is all the time it takes to get these gorgeous flowers. We did fertilize with a flower fertilizer at the time when we started first getting these round little bulbs that are going to turn into the blooms. And that's just a fertilizer that has more phosphorus and potassium to help the blooming stage of the plant and to promote more blooms as we come in and cut them for our cut flowers. During the growing season, I'm going to make sure that these pots stay well hydrated. I'm going to look for any droopy plants that indicate that they're drying out. I'm going to cut the blooms often because the more I cut off the plant, the more it will shoot up. That's also called deadheading. So any of them that die on the plant, I'm going to pull them off so that it saves that energy and puts it back into growing more blooms. Other than that, there's not a whole lot extra that you need to know, especially in zone 9 and 10, because our weather patterns are very conducive to growing beautiful ranunculus blooms. Anywhere from the coast all the way to the inland areas in zone 9 and 10, you can enjoy these gorgeous blooms in the cool season. So this pot is actually a good example of it telling me that it's thirsty. These should not be hanging and droopy like this. This is telling me that this pot, yep, and I can feel that it's pretty light. It needs to be watered so that these guys can be growing straight up. You can actually see this is a well-watered pot, how upright the blooms are, and then you can see this one is pretty wilted. Now in regards to the end of the season, it's really easy. Another reason why I recommend doing them in pots. You can either dig out the tubers that the ranunculuses are growing from, or you can actually just dump the whole pot out and put it on top of some type of screen. Maybe you have a screen that you use for sifting your compost. Let the soil fall through, and then you're left with the ranunculus that you can save for the following year. They should be saved in either peat moss, or you can use wood shavings, anything that's going to keep them dry and out of direct sun. They store very easily, and come the following year, you plop them back into the pots and you do the same process that I had mentioned, and you will get tons of beautiful blooms to enjoy year after year after year. The beauty is you can also share these. Every year when you dig them up, you're probably going to have more than you need. You can share them with friends and neighbors, and everybody can get to enjoy these gorgeous, beautiful blooms.